Namaste. Welcome to RSV Group of Schools YouTube channel. I Kamakshi Kukreja is here to discuss today on heat. We know that when we stand in the sun or sit near a fire, we feel hot. If we touch ice, we feel cool. But if we put our hands in warm water, we feel that the hands have become warm. So why it is this? This is because heat is a form of energy that causes the sensation of hotness or coolness. How do we say that an object is hot or cool? By touching it. Or else sometimes we say that it is hotter than the other object or colder than the other object. How? Again, that is also by the sensation of touch. Is a sensation of touch really reliable? Let us find it out with the help of an experiment. I am taking a bowl in which I have taken cold water and I have labeled it as A. I dip my fingers in it for few seconds. This is my right hand that I have taken, and the water that I have taken is cold. Now I am taking a bowl labeled as B in which hot water is there, and the hand that I am using is left hand. Again I am dipping my fingers for few seconds in this. Remember, the hand is left and the water taken is hot. Now I am taking third bowl which is labeled as C, and in this the water that I have poured is both from A and B. That is, A was having cold water and B warm water. Now I am touching both the fingers of the hands in both. My right hand says that this is warm little bit, but my left hand says that this is cold. Why so? This is because in my right hand I had dipped the water that was hot, that was cold. So it is cold, it was there, so it is saying that now the water that I have dipped, that is in the C bowl, it is warm. But the one that I have taken was hot, that was left hand. In the left hand I had dipped initially the hands in the hot water, and so it now when dipped in the another water, it is saying that is cold. This is because initially in the effects were different, the feelings were different because of hot and cold water that were taken were different. So my one hand is saying it is warm, another hand it is saying it is cold. So I cannot rely on my sensation of touch. Then how can we judge in a sensible form, in a reliable form, that whether a given substance is hot or cold? This is by using some device. Let us first see what is temperature. Temperature is the measure of degree of hotness of an object, and the device that is used to measure is known as thermometer. Thermo means, in the Latin word, it is thermo means heat, and the device used to measure it is known as thermometer. There are two types of thermometer used. One is clinical and second is laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer is used for measuring the temperature of the human body, and laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature of substances. Now let us have a look on clinical thermometer, how it looks. First, here you can see a clinical thermometer that I have in my hand. Here is the bulb, the silver part that you can see is the bulb, and it is made up of a glass tube which is long, uniform and narrow one. Here is the picture also drawn on the board, you can see it. It is having a bulb and it is a long glass tube which is narrow also and uniform also. The outer part is known as stem, while the inner glass tube that is there, it is known as capillary tube. And in this, the fluid that is formed, liquid that is formed is mercury. Mercury is helping us to measure the temperature of human body, and the principle on which the clinical thermometer works is on the expansion of liquids. And in the Why only clinical thermometer is used to measure the human body temperature? That is because it is having a kink. Kink is an upward part that is there, which prevents the backflow of the mercury into the bulb. Actually, it has to be kept in contact with the body to be measured for 2 minutes. So when we remove it out, the mercury that has expanded and that is giving us the measurement should not flow back, otherwise the reading will not be proper. So to prevent the backflow, a kink is there which works like a speed breaker, as we have speed breakers on our roads, which prevents the checks the speed of our vehicle on the road. Same way it prevents the backflow of the mercury. There are some rules for measuring for using the thermometer. First is wash it before and after every use. Generally it is preferable to be washed with an antiseptic solution. Next is so that it is free from germs. If any germs is there in the it has come into the thermometer, if you have because if you are measuring the temperature of a person who is infected from some diseases and we are putting it in the mouth or in under the arms, then if any germs are there, that will be clear. So we are using it antiseptic solution. Then second is hold firmly and give few jerks to bring the level of mercury below 35 degree Celsius. Actually, there are two units used to measure the thermometer. One is Fahrenheit, another is Celsius. The SI unit used to measure the temperature is Kelvin, but commonly used are Celsius and Fahrenheit. The one which is most commonly used in India is Celsius. So it is saying that before using it, just give some jerks to the thermometer by holding it firmly so that it does not goes down, and try to bring the level below 35. It has to be below 35 degrees Celsius. Keep the bulb under the tongue for about 2 minutes. We have to keep the bulb below the tongue. So this is the bulb part, and if I want to measure the temperature, I have to take the tongue out and keep it like this for 2 minutes. Or else if some child is there, we can put it under the arms for 2 minutes. Hold it after the 2 minutes are over and we are removing it out, we have to hold it horizontally in the line of sight, that is directly properly in the line of sight. It should not be like this, it should not be like this, because this will not give us the correct reading. So while removing it out, we have to hold it horizontally in the line of sight, so that it is horizontal to my eyesight and I can see it clearly while reading. So no readings are wrong, the readings will be correct. And secondly is that it should not be hold lightly, that it hits some objects, hard objects, and it breaks, because it is made up of glass. So we should handle it with care and should be hold properly so that it does not hit any hard objects. So these are some precautions to be taken while using the thermometer. Let's once revise again what we have studied today. We have studied that heat is a form of energy that causes the sensation of hotness and coldness of the object. Next is our sensation of touch is not reliable, so we need some reliable device to measure the temperature of any object, and that is thermometer that we are using. We are having two types of thermometers, one clinical and another laboratory. Next is, we have also studied that clinical thermometers are used to measure the temperature of the human body, and the thermometer ranges from 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. The normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Generally, when we say it is normal human body temperature, that means it is the average that we have taken of the healthy persons. It can be little bit down, that is below 37, or it can be slightly above also 37. Generally, a body temperature does not go beyond 42. It is if it is nearby 37, it is said to be correct. That means our body is in healthy form. And if other varied changes are there, if it is more near above 37, that is nearby 39, 40, or below 37, nearby 35, that condition is said to be not to be healthy. We are not in the healthy state. So normal human body, healthy human body temperature varies nearby 37, and so average is taken to be 37 degree Celsius. Next, we have seen that the thermometer that we are using in the clinics is having a kink that prevents the outflow of that prevents the backflow of the mercury, and the range of it is 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. It is having a long glass tube which is uniform. The outer part is known as stem, and the inner part is known as capillary tube. Some precautions are there while using it. Before and after using it, we have to wash it with antiseptic solution, hold it firmly, and give some jerks before using it, so that the mercury level goes below 35 degrees Celsius. And we have to keep the bulb under the tongue for about 2 minutes for the person of the person whose temperature is to be measured. While after 2 minutes, when we are removing it out, we have to hold it horizontally in the line of the site to read the mercury level, so that we get exactly the reading what is the correct reading, or what is the correct temperature of the body. Thank you and have a nice day.